want to explain to you this 9/11 communication that keeps going on. The Lord keeps telling me 9/11 is coming, 9/11 is coming, the angel at the bottomless pit. And it's overwhelming. And I want to try and give you a visual representation so you understand how it works. So you get the same exact visualization I get. This is the container where it got set down. Now this is what I was told to do. For those of y'all that have seen the container video, you know what I'm talking about. If you're watching this video and you haven't seen the container video, you don't know anything about it, you're gonna be lost. So you need to go back and watch that. So here it is. This container that the Lord told me to write Revelation 3:10 on is a physical representation of the bride of Christ, the New Jerusalem, that got picked up with that crane and sent back down. Now, just like the bride of Christ, because in Revelation 3, it says, because you have kept the word of my patience, I will keep you from the hour of testing, which shall come upon all those that dwell on the earth. So that hour is coming, and the Lord told me, look, I want you to get this container, and I want you to put it in your backyard. I mean, guys, look, what a bizarre request, right? So here it is. So now here's the shipping container, right? There it is. It's got Revelation 3:10 on it. It's in my backyard. I'm like, okay, Lord, what am I supposed to do to this thing? You know, it's like, what do you do? What am I supposed to do? So, you know, I was thinking, well, I guess I'm going to make it at least go with this property, you know, cut a hole in the side over there and put a sliding glass door in facing that patio or something. That's what I'm thinking. And then I hear the Lord tell me, no. I want you to put a garage door on the inside of this. Why would it matter what kind of door I put in? I mean, why can't I just cut a big hole over there and put in a big sliding glass door? I mean, I know how to do all that stuff. I build stuff. So I've been in contracting for years, you know, and I do my own work. And so I'm thinking, what's up with the garage door? And he tells me I want a glass garage door. And I'm just like, that's so random. So then after prayer and him confirming it, I'm like, okay, Lord, you know what? I'll do whatever you tell me. You know, when he tells me to do something and I know he's told me, I just do it. So I call this guy to come out from this company, and he comes out and he shows up, and I tell him, this is what I'm trying to do. And he goes, oh yeah, okay, no problem. Well, you know, we can do a 7-foot 6-inch wide door. The container's 8 feet wide. And so he says, here's what I would like for you to do. So he's telling me what he would like to see on the inside in order for him to install this door. And I'm like, okay. Because, you know, I'm building the deck right here. We've got our baptismal pool I found on Craigslist. You know, I'm building this deck around it. Those grates out of there I pulled out of a dumpster. I got 4 of those out of a dumpster. I'm just doing whatever I can to make it look right and to, you know, just do whatever I feel that he's telling me and directing me to do. So Chad comes over and he says, look, here's what I want you to do. He drew right here on the wall. Here's his drawing. That's his drawing. He says, look, I want you to right here put a 4x4, see, going up, and another one going up. And see, he wrote right up there, it's 7 feet 9 inches. I want that to go all the way across to over there. So it's 7 foot 9 inches. It's got to be cut, and then it goes all the way across like a header. For those of y'all that do construction, you know what a header is. So I'm supposed to have a 4x4 here, a 4x4 over here, and a big header on top. And so I'm saying, okay. And he drew on the wall right here. So he comes back here and he draws on the wall, look, 4x4. So there's a 4x4, a 4x4, a 4x4. He wants the same thing right here. And then he wants another one right here. Okay, so we have the same structure. Let's call them archways. You know what? Let's think about what's on the front of this house for just a second. Remember I told you this house has the name Jesus Christ written on the house. It has 3 head symbols out front of this house. And the Jewish gematria for het is Jesus Christ. One of my subscribers sent a message and said, Jonathan, have you ever looked up your gematria in Jewish gematria? Jonathan Kleck is 888 as well. So my name is written on this house in Jewish Gematria. How bizarre. But it's 3 head symbols. So the guy leaves, and then all of a sudden I just realized, wow, wait a minute. Remember the bride of Christ? Do you know who the bride of Christ is? It's the New Jerusalem. Do you know what Jerusalem means? It means city of peace, because God has made us at peace now. He's restored the paradigm within us, the opposing energies, one right side up, one upside down, and he's flipped us and made us whole. And those are the ones that are leaving, the ones at the key of David. You put the key in the lock, you unlock the door, you turn it upside down, and the door opens. And I'm just going, well, wait a minute. If I put 3 of these arches, one there, and one here, and one here, that's like building 3 head symbols inside this container. And I just went, wow, that is just so weird. And so he left, and I was like, all right, well, let's just do it. I'll put your 4x4s where you want them. Just, you get the door and the millworks. Let's get it done. I want to finish this project, folks, because I want to go home. I want to leave here. And so anyway, the very next day, I call my friend Kat, and I said, Kat, would you pray with me? I need to pray about a couple things, and sometimes I like to pray with another person, because where 2 or more gathered in your name, there I am in the midst of you. So I called Kat up, and we're praying, and I said, Lord, Kat's in North Carolina. We're on the phone together. I can feel your presence. I would like to cast a lot and ask you, are you gonna do, are you gonna, take care of this thing that you told me, you gave me your word you would. And so Kat opened a book in North Carolina and said to give one's word, guaranteed. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like praying with someone in another state, saying, Lord, we're just gonna randomly open a book, and can you show me that whatever it is that you're behind this? And it shows guarantee, every word I could imagine that would give me the confidence to move forward with what I'm doing. And so I was like, okay, great. So I hang up with Kat on the phone. I put the phone down, and I'm doing something. My phone rings, and I go to answer my phone, and it's the guy, Chad, that had come over. And I said, yeah, what's up? And he said, well, listen, I told you where to put that second set of arches, this one and this one, the 2 back arches. And he said, but you know what? I was laying in my bed thinking, and I thought, wait a minute, because of the size door that's going in there, you really need to put one at 9 foot and one at 11. And I went, what? And he goes, you need to put one at 9 and 11, 9/11. And I was like, are you kidding me? I'm standing in a container that represents the church that gets saved, that gets kept from Revelation 9 when the locusts come out of the pit. I'm the guy that showed you the locust. You turn the slave guy upside down from the Vatican, he turns into a locust. It's absolutely astounding. Nut, the goddess Nut, N-U-T, same as the poster from the movie Alien Covenant. So anyway, I'm sitting here trying to process that this guy just called me back and said, no, Mr. Kleck, instead of at 8 feet and at 10 feet, I want you to move it back to 9 and 11. And I was like, okay, well, let me get this straight. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna call you right back. And I hung up the phone, and I got a pad, and I got my other cell phone, and I turned on record.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chad. So 1 at 9, 1 at 11, right?
Correct.
Okay, and that's from you said 9 and 11, right?
Right.
Because I wanted to document that, how just wild and how bizarre this is in the way this happens. So now I'm thinking, look, he wants me to build 3 head symbols inside the container. Think about that. There's 3 head symbols on the front of the house. It represents Jesus Christ. Only those that have Christ in you are leaving. And I'm like, this is just mind-boggling. So I'm sitting here just going like, this is so crazy bizarre, because the day the crane guy showed up, remember Jose, the Hispanic guy that was going up on top of the thing and all the wasps came out? I went up and killed the wasp, and then he said, did you get them all? And I said, yeah. And he goes, yeah, because we were on a job in New Braunfels and we broke this tree and the sky turned black. I was like, what did you say? And I was just doing the video on 9/11 and Bug Mania over this house. So, I mean, if this isn't just beyond circumstantial, I don't know what is. So anyway, I call Kat back right after Chad calls me and tells me, move it to 9 and 11. And I call Kat and I go, Kat, tell me how bizarre this is. And Kat goes, what did you say? And I said, Chad told me to move it to 9 and 11, like 9/11. And I was like, how random is that? And Kat goes, oh my God, when we were praying on the phone, Jonathan, I wrote off to the side when she opened up that Castellat. She said, I wrote off to the side on that thesaurus, talk to Jonathan at 9/11. Why would somebody write down the hour and would say, I was like, why did you even write that? She goes, I have no idea. I just wrote it down. So the point is, guys, this container is a representation of the New Jerusalem, the bride of Christ. Remember when I went and saw the vultures yesterday? So now, the confirmations of Revelation 19, the whore is about to be judged. I'm the witness against the whore. That's what that mother goddess thing was in the alley the night I got saved. I got saved, Our Father. Then Michael says, you say a Hail Mary. As I start saying the words, it equals death. I feel life and life leaving my body. And I testified to that in 2011. Here we are in 2017. And the shipping container's got 3 hat symbols going in it. And the guy that shows up to put the container down has the sky turn black with flying, stinging insects. Really? I mean, come on. That's just beyond impossible. So here's the testimony, guys. Revelation 19. Death is coming. That all those vultures, there's one queen goddess, the mother goddess of all the Egyptian goddesses. She's the goddess of goddesses, is Mut. And I showed you in the video yesterday. Her headdress is a vulture. She's sitting there with her claws and her other claws, like her hands and feet, exposing, her genitalia. And that is the representation of death. That's where it came from. Remember when I was in the alley? I prayed, Our Father, I got saved, prayed Hail Mary, felt death. Because that's where death came from, the virgin. That's where it all came from. The flesh equals death. Remember this, flesh is in opposition to the spirit. Think about it. Flesh is one thing, spirit is another. They are in opposition to each other. When you're born again of the spirit, then you come together as one in Christ. So this mystery is solved. And I'm here to tell you guys, I don't know how long this thing's gonna take. I don't think it's gonna take that long. I mean, I'm working diligently every day to get this done. So I just want y'all to know, this is coming. This is real. There's too much evidence that proves it. All the altars, it's all proven out now. Here's what's coming. Death is coming. The whore is about to be judged. So if life is not in you, you're going to be part of what's left here to deal with this. And so I would encourage everybody, seek Jesus with your entire heart. The Bible says, when you seek me with all your heart, you will find me. Put all the information I've given you to the test. Just try and disprove it. You can't. So I would encourage you guys to, come to the table quickly because time's running out.